Hello, Katrin here with European Paper Crafts in the US. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a couple of great summer cards for you, so let's get started. In today's short video, I wanted to share with you the hunky-dory, adorable, scorable luxury card topper packs, and I have three I chose for you. In each pack you have three sheets. And it says here makes at least 2 cards, but I certainly think you can make more than 2 cards. I chose 3 different ones. So here the first one is Under the Weather. And I'm going to just show this to you before I show you my cards. Then you open it up, you have 3 cardstock pieces in here. The first one is die cut. So sorry to hear you're feeling under the weather. How cute is that? The little duckling here with the umbrella. And then you have several different die cuts as well as more sentiments and then border strips, beautifully foiled, and of course die cut. All you have to do is cut it out, push it out. And then you have 2 pieces of cardstock. Here the duckling again with the umbrella, and of course you can make big cards by just scoring it in the middle, but you can cut into it as well. And then the second piece of cardstock has foiling on it, and I always cut into it and use just bits and pieces, and you will see how I used it here in a second. But these are these packs with 3 pieces. Now this is of course Under the Weather, just in case somebody needs a little pick-me-up. Then I have this beautiful Plant a Little Happiness, and in a minute I'll show you the cards I made with this one. And then of course the last one is the Floating and Fluttering, and it has those beautiful kites and bicycles. So let's just look in here what we find in here. So there is always a card example on the pack, so you know where to start off in case you don't have any ideas of your own. But here you have these beautiful embellishments, so you can see why would you only make 2 cards with this. You have 2 larger embellishments that are, let's see how big they are. Oops. So the bigger ones are 5.5 by 4, but then you have smaller embellishments, and they come in all these different frames that you can push out separately and use. And so you have really on each sheet here 1, 2, there's another 3 is 5, and another 3, so you have 6, 8 embellishments in all the frames. So certainly more than 2 cards. Then you have this pearl cardstock here with the beautiful kites. I think this is probably how it goes. And you can cut into it or make your card base because the other side is white. And then also the foiled piece has the umbrella and the beautiful balloons. Gorgeous for a birthday card. Okay, so but what I did today is a little bit different. So let me just take this out of the way and I'll show you what I made with this pack. So I'll be right back. So Plant a Little Happiness has again several embellishments on the die cut sheet. It has this beautiful cardstock here with the valleys and the watering can, a beautiful rose border, and the other one that has foiling on it has this cute teacup, bird, and lots of summer flowers. So here is what I made. Now this is what you call a box card, and it lays flat like this, but then the recipient, when they get it, you can just pull it apart and it actually stands like this. Now how do you make a card like that? Very easily. and I'll show you here in a second. But let's just see what I used. I used not the paper that came in the pack, but paper I had in my stack for the card base. And then for the back, I just used white cardstock. In the middle, here is the embellishment from the sheet, and then I cut an oval, and I did that with my craft knife. Of course, if you have a die that is that big, you could also use a die, but I didn't have a die that big, so what I did is I just used this as a guidance, and then I just cut out a oval. The second layer, which is this frame around the embellishment, I used for the outside of the card. So now here it sits with a little bit of an embellishment also from that card, and then here some sentiments are on there. I used lots of love, and it sits right here on the corner. And I also used this beautiful border on the bottom of my card. Now you may ask, how do you make these box cards? They look very involved, but really they're so easy. So what you do is you cut a piece of cardstock, and you can cut it any size you want. This is a large card that I made, but you can make smaller cards. So for my example here, I'll show you what I have. I have a piece of cardstock that measures 10 inches by 5 3/4, okay, but 10 inches wide. So you can make it higher, you can make it 6, whatever you have. So you use a piece of cardstock, and then what you do is from each side you make a score line at 1 inch twice. So 1 inch, another 1 inch. So 2 inches from each side. 1 inch and 1 inch. So now you have your cardstock, you have these score lines at 1 inch each. And you do that twice. Okay, here's your second one. So now you have 2 identical pieces. Now what you can do is, of course, use different cardstock. So for the front you may want to use something colorful, but it's up to you. So now what you do is you just fold the score lines just like this, okay, and you do the same with the other card. So you fold it in, and then you fold it out, okay, you fold it in and you fold it out, and all you have to do now is just lay it on top of each other, and this is where you glue it, right here. So you put glue on this side and on this side, and then you glue it together. I suggest you use wet glue because you have a little bit more wiggle room, to make your card. And then of course it goes together like this to lay flat, and then you can pull it out. All right, now if you want to do what I did is, then you cut a hole in the middle, and I did an oval here, and for my second card, and this is of course the other embellishment, I cut a circle, and that I did have a die, so I used the circle, and here we go. So I used the card, which we just saw how to make it, and then on the front I used different cardstock. I cut the hole, I laid the embellishment right here on the bottom, and you kind of eyeball it where it belongs. And you do that, of course, before you glue the top on it. And then for the top, I just used, again, the border around it to finish it off. I used the second embellishment that came off the sheet, cut from the cardstock that I had left over from this card, a couple of banner pieces, a little of embellishment flowers here, and that's it. But isn't it stunning? And it just, the camera doesn't pick it up well, but look how they stand up. So have that on your birthday table. So they are called box cards, and this is a card now that measures 6 by 6. Well, not quite. Yeah, almost 6 by 6. So it fits in these 6 by 6 envelopes. So if you want to make a 6 by 6 card, again, you use a 10 by 6 cardstock piece, and then you just score it off a 1/2 inch from each side and fold it and glue it. And it makes these beautiful, very impressive cards. I'm going to make a few more of these cards probably around Christmas time, because I have a lot of embellishments that are just flat embellishments, and I wasn't quite sure what to do with it, but I think they make great box cards. So you'll probably see a few more of these cards in my Christmas videos this year. All right, so that's all I have today. Let's finish up. Okay, I hope you liked my box cards. If so, please leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also join us on Facebook. All the information is in the box below. This is all I have for you today. Please stay or get well, and let's be kind to each other. Thank you, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.